Welcome. Today we're going to talk about borrowing and lending and how we can use that in conversations. Hi, I'm Ajit from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary learn it together English fluency program. With Capshine, learning English is easy, quick, fun, affordable, and effective. And we promise a whole new you in 6 months or less. Before we get started, a quick announcement about what the difference between borrow and lend is. Borrow essentially means to take something from someone temporarily, again, usually with their permission. So to borrow is to take or to get. To lend means to give something temporarily to someone. Again, to lend means to give. Why am I talking about this? Well, because it's very common for people to confuse the two. And this can be wrong. So you don't want to make that mistake where you say, I borrowed him some money, which is incorrect. I lent him some money, right? So that's essentially different. Borrow to take, lend to give. That said, let's look at some conversation points. Rakesh borrowed a pair of scissors from Mahima yesterday. Notice how he's taken a pair of scissors from Mahima. Mahima lent a pair of scissors to Rakesh yesterday. So Mahima gave to Rakesh. So it would be incorrect to say, I borrowed 500 to Jay. That is incorrect. Instead, you could say, Jay borrowed 500 from me, or I borrowed 500 from Jay. Those are correct alternatives. Again, the meaning changes, or rather who got what or from whom, that changes, but the usage in this is correct. I lent a pen from Varun. This is incorrect. Instead, you would say, I lent a pen to Varun, which means you gave Varun a pen. If you took a pen from Varun, you would say, I borrowed a pen from Varun. Let's look at a few more examples. Tia says, hey Sarah, can I borrow your stapler? I don't have one. Notice, can I take? Can I borrow? Sure, I can lend it to you. Sure, I can give it to you. So that's essentially a difference between borrow and lend. Nita, could you please lend me some sugar? Can you give me some sugar? Sure, Bhavana, I can lend some to you. Right? So again, I can give some to you. So give means to lend, take means to borrow. May I borrow your laptop? Of course, I'll be happy to lend it to you. Notice how each of these is used in its appropriate context. Dinesh, may I borrow your car? Sure, I can lend you my car. Thank you, I will return it to you in the evening. Right? Some pro tip before we move forward. Lend and borrow can be used with for various reasons. So one reason is to use for to show that you have borrowed an item for an expected amount of time and you expect it to be returned. For example, I have lent Meena 25,000 for 2 months. So it says that you expect it to be returned within a specific amount of time. So this means I expect Meena to return the amount after 2 months, or Meena to return the money to me after 2 months. Essentially the same thing. I have borrowed the guitar from Hema for a week. Again, suggests that you intend to only use it for a week and return it after the 2 weeks. And that's essentially what that says. Before we wind up with the use of borrow and lend, a fun set of phrases. So we're going to look at some idioms of phrasal verbs which use borrow and lend, and we're going to look at how they can be used in context. So, beg, borrow, steal is a common idiom. It means that you will do anything to get the result that you want. For example, we will have to beg, borrow, or steal a spare laptop for our presentation. So at all costs, get a laptop, whatever you need to do. So it doesn't necessarily have to literally mean that you'll beg or steal. You could also say, finish this project with whatever resources you can find, beg, borrow, or steal to get it done. I'm not giving you permission to steal or beg, but it's an idiomatic phrase which essentially means do whatever you can do, whatever you have to do to get it done. Another idiom with borrow. Borrow trouble. When you sort of overthink, have you ever been in a situation when you've overthought something and sort of worried yourself into a spot, right? And you've caused anxiety for yourself when you need not have. It's all in your head. You've overthought it, you've overanalyzed it, and you've ended up in a bad situation. So you've borrowed trouble. Why are you borrowing trouble? By thinking about the medical expenses, the insurance company will take care of it. So essentially, you're creating trouble without having the need to create it. Let's look at some idioms with lend. When you lend a ear, you're essentially giving your ear, not literally, but metaphorically or figuratively. What that means is that you're listening to someone carefully and also sympathetically. If you lend me your ears, I can explain how this machine works. If you listen to me carefully, I can tell you how this machine works. Another usage of lend is lend a hand, which means to help someone. For example, if you lend me your hand, we can finish this project in no time. Right? If you help me out, we can finish it in no time. I hope you found that informative. Make sure you use these phrases and conversation points in your conversations in the future. And of course, do not use lend and borrow incorrectly. If you aren't subscribed already, make sure you check out capshine.com or download the app from the Play Store to become a registered member and avail your free trial. Thanks for watching.